Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you have never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I do here. I am a love coach specifically for women who want to stay and who want to reconcile after infidelity. I know people will tell you that that's a crazy thing to do, that you can't possibly do such a thing, but I know that to be false because I've done it. I am almost 18 years past the last D-Day with my husband, not the first, but the last. And he has proven me right over the years that I was correct to forgive, to love, to go ahead and move forward with the relationship and to reconcile. He has proven me right with a little bit of time, a little bit of distance. I have found out that I was absolutely correct and that that can be done. You can stay, you can recover, you can reconcile, you can be okay together. Okay, so I want to teach you all I have learned about the topic. So you make sure in the comments, give me all your questions. Put them down in the comments. I will answer them for you. I want you to have all the secrets to how to get past this. And speaking of the secrets of how to get past this infidelity, I want to remind you that Monday is my Tricky Triggers Challenge. We are talking about all of the triggers that happen to you when you have been betrayed in this way. The way that this trauma manifests itself in your body is through the triggers. The triggers are there to tell you where you're not quite healed yet. And then I am going to sit down with you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week, explain to you what the triggers are doing, why they're there, and what you can actually do about them in the moment. And even before they get to you, even before they start to mess with your brain, what can you do to start to get the triggers under control, get yourself into a better place, feel like you can actually heal instead of being feeling like you're always set back to square one. You are not being set back to square one just because you are triggered. You were just triggered. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to us with things that don't have anything to do with the infidelity. We get triggered as people. So it's okay that you are feeling like that. But I want to invite you to come to the Triggers Challenge starting on September 22nd, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be doing this in my Love After Cheating challenge group on Facebook. So I want you to come. We have a good time all week. We figure out the triggers, and at the end of the week, I give out prizes. So I think it's a win-win for everybody that comes and learns with me through that week. And you get to experience what it's like to have me as your coach, to have me there with you, giving you lessons, teaching you how to get through this dark period of time where you have felt so betrayed and so lost and so traumatized. I've got some keys on how to get you out of the woods. So I hope that you will join me for that. On Instagram, the Tricky Triggers Challenge is in my bio, and on Facebook, in my Love Coach Dasha page, and my Love After Cheating group. So make sure you are looking for that. Hold on, let me refresh the page. I'm going to put the link in the comments on the Facebook page and in the group, okay? So you will have that everywhere that I am. You will be able to access that. Click that link. All you need to do is give me your name and your email address. You need to be registered for the actual prizes so you can actually get prizes. All right. So it is in the Love Coach Dasha page. There we go. It is up there. It is on the Love After Cheating page, and it is in my Instagram. And shoot, let's go over here to Facebook, now to YouTube, and make sure that we put it up there too. All right. All righty, y'all. So please make sure you come for the Tricky Triggers Challenge because it's going to be so much fun. We are going to be working on these triggers, figuring out exactly where they're coming from, what tips and tricks that you can figure out about you and your body and how you respond to them that will let you know that they're coming even before they get there. So you will not be blindsided by the triggers anymore. I don't want you to have to be trying to catch up with the triggers. I don't want you to be running to chase them. I want you to be aware. I want you to be there before they get there. Okay? All right. I'll find it over here on YouTube. I'll put it in the comments on YouTube as well. All right, y'all. We treat this trauma of being cheated on, living through this infidelity. This is a trauma, okay? If you don't learn anything else from me today, learn that. This is a trauma. It is affecting your body as well as your mind. So we can start to work on the effects of this this trauma on your body and the effects of it on your mind. We can start to make the effects of it less, get you to a better place much, much faster. When you are first cheated on, there is devastation. You can hardly breathe, right? It's like you can't get a good deep breath in. And there is a reason for that. You are going into fight or flight. Your blood flow is changing around in your body. There's more blood flow going to your lungs, getting you ready to fight, getting you ready to run. So it is a real thing that is happening. Why you can't get that good deep breath in, why you can't totally exhale, there is a reason for it. So since that is the breathing of I am in a panic, things are going wrong, what we need to do is do the opposite of that breathing. We need to do the breathing of I am perfectly all right, I am safe, I am fine, I am okay. So that is the breathing that we're going to do together. Now that is that me doing the deep breathing that is on my YouTube channel as well. As the Start Here and Breathe. I can walk you through it. It's about halfway through the video where it starts, and we go through it about 5 times together. I want you to be doing your deep breathing 5 times, 5 times a day. Okay. If you are doing it consistently, what you are doing is constantly bringing that anxiety level down, 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 constantly pressing it down to a level that you can deal with instead of having it way above your head that you can't even reach. So we've got to start doing that breathing. So go on over to my YouTube channel, Start Here and Breathe. I walk you through it. But we are going to do it together here 3 times in a row. And what we are going to do is 4-7-8 breathing. What that is going to be is blow out first. You're going to blow like you're blowing out birthday candles. You want to make the noise of blowing out, getting your lungs clear of carbon dioxide. Okay. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7. And then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out a whole cake full of birthday candles again for a count of 8. Now, all the time, if you are really struggling and you are having a moment and you are triggered and you can't remember this breathing technique, you can't remember what the numbers were, you can't remember how to do it, just start with blowing. Blow out, make the noise, start from there. You'll be able to get a good full deep breath in. We can start from there. You might remember after you've done that exhale and got a good lung full of air again, exactly how to do the deep breathing. So just start with that blowing out. All right. So we're going to do the deep breathing. We're going to do it 3 times together. But I want you to do it 5 times a day as you are going along your week. Set an alarm in your phone. Make sure periodically throughout the day you are doing your deep breathing, bringing that anxiety out. All right. So we are going to do our deep breathing together. Join me. Join me. First things first, I want you to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you are doing your deep breathing? How does it feel inside your body? Because that is what we're talking about. When we're talking about the triggers, this is a physical sensation that is happening inside your body that comes from your senses. So when you're doing the deep breathing and calming that sensation, it should change how your body feels. You should be able to get a little bit of rest. It should suddenly feel sleepy. Some people feel a little bit wired after they do it. Some people get very, very clear headed. All sorts of good things should be feeling good in your body when you do your deep breathing. Check it out. And when we were doing the Tricky Triggers Challenge, that is one of the very basic things that we are talking about, handling the triggers. I got lots of other tricks and tips besides doing your deep breathing, but start with your deep breathing. If you're doing that, you are conditioning your body. You are telling it that you are safe, that you do not need the fight or flight response right now. That is unnecessary. You don't want to isolate. You want to draw nearer to this person. You don't want to do the things that your body and your brain want to do when you are traumatized. Those things pull you away from a relationship. They pull you out of connection. They want you to isolate. So we've got to decide that we do not want to isolate like that. We want to be connected again. Doing your deep breathing gets you in contact with that feeling a lot easier. Okay. Second thing that we are always going to talk about every time we get together, honey, I need you to be doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? If you have not, I need you to start that practice. Go ahead. If you want to go to Dollar Tree and get yourself a little journal, feel free. Got some lines in it, got some paper. That's really all you need for a journal. Now, you can get super fancy. You can get, this one came from Five Below, so special. Got the beautiful gold foil on it. Whatever, still just lined paper that you can write in. I need you to get yourself a journal, a paper journal, and a pen that you enjoy using. And I need you to, for about 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening, write in your journal. Now, the reason you need paper and pen is because it's different than putting it down digitally. Your brain does not accept that you putting something in a note app is a real thing. Your brain knows that that is in the cloud. That is not physically in this room with us. It is on this phone. If something happens to this phone, we will not have access to it. When you use paper and pen, your brain knows that this is concrete in the world. It is out here, and then you are putting those thoughts into this concrete place that exists. And so those thoughts will not get lost. They are not going anywhere. They are in the book, in the pretty book that you're writing. So your brain will accept that this is a permanent thing and that it's okay to let those thoughts be out of your head and down on the paper, because your brain wants you to remind you of things when you are in this traumatized state. It wants you to constantly be thinking about how much danger you're in and how funny he's acting and how many red flags that you've missed. It wants you to keep seeing those things. So if you just say, okay, brain, I got you. I heard you. Write it all down. A lot of the time your brain will say, okay, she heard me. She wrote it down. It's permanent. It's out here in the world. I believe that we can let this go for now. And so then those thoughts don't keep repeating in your head over and over and over again. Okay? So pen and paper twice a day, about 5 minutes. You do not need to write an entire book. Do not feel the need to fill up pages. Try very hard to keep it to feelings, very basic, broad outlines of things, not every detail of something that has happened. If you try and do that, you will get sick of writing and you won't use your journal. If you limit it to the things that come to top of mind when you are sitting down for that 5 minutes, you'll have the most important stuff. The most important things, the things that are really bothering you, that are really up there on your priority list, will be written down in the book. And you can find patterns in those things because it's much, much clearer like that, because you haven't written page after page after page about something that happened, describing it from beginning to end. Okay. You will be able to find out what the patterns are, especially things that happen in the morning, the way you wake up, how you think in the morning, thoughts that come to your head that keep repeating. You'll be able to know that every morning waking up, combat the things that bother you, hold on to the things that don't. Then, when you're about to go to bed at night, if you sit down with your journal and your little cup of tea, cup of chamomile puts me right out, puts me down. I did not know that until I grew it, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, this is good for sleep." This really, they weren't playing about this. It puts me right to sleep. So, drink a little cup of chamomile and spend your 5 minutes journaling. Put down the things that are troubling you, the things that might cause you to have nightmares at night, the things that are stressing you out. Put them down in your journal and then tell your brain, hey, look, it's time for me to go to bed. The conscious mind has to shut off right now, but unconscious, subconscious, whatever y'all want to do, work on this problem while I'm asleep. And you let me know what you came up with in the morning. A lot of the time, this will help you to sleep all the way through the night. And then when you get up, a lot of the times you'll have the answer. A lot of the times your brain will have come up with other options that you haven't even thought of because you allowed your brain to rest and let it work in the background and think about things. And then you came up with that good answer because you woke up with it. All right. So it is a excellent practice to do your journaling on a regular basis. And remember, when you are doing your journaling, I want you to, before and after, say what your level of anxiety is. Your level of anxiety is measuring how bad you're feeling right now. It could be a 0. Your level of anxiety could be 0. You could be feeling wonderful. All is right with the world. Great. Wonderful. Write that down. Put it right in the top corner of the book. The journal that I created for you all has stars right here in the top right corner. You color that in and say, hey, this was a day where it was a 0 and my anxiety was low and things were feeling wonderful. I was doing great. You need to be able to just be able to flip through your journal and see those pages in the times where you are despairing, in the times where you are like, I just can't do this anymore. Everything is always bad. When your thoughts are telling you awful things that aren't even true, you need to be able to go back to your book, go back to your journal, and know for certain that that's a lie. Everything hasn't been awful. I have a whole bunch of these days that are stars that were 0 or 1 days where I was feeling good. That's actually not true. Everything isn't awful. Everything isn't terrible all the time. Oh, my brain is lying to me. And so then you can start to sort through as your brain keeps trying to pitch things at you that aren't necessarily true. You'll know that your brain does lie and you won't take everything as gospel that it's saying. Okay. 10 is a loss of control. 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. I don't have control over myself anymore. I am going to be throwing things. I am going to be screaming at the top of my lungs and losing my voice. I am going to have the police called on either me or my mate. That is a 10. 10 is I can't get control over myself. So chances are you will not be journaling, okay? You can come back later on and say, hey, I was a 10 this afternoon. I'm down to a 7 now, but I was a full-fledged 10 and I was screaming and losing my mind. And write that down so you can say, okay, if I'm at a 10, these things happen. So I need to be making sure that this is not what I do again. I don't start down this path and keep on going to 10 on a regular basis, because we don't want to keep going to 10 on a regular basis. If you spend all that time losing control of yourself, getting that control back is much more difficult. And you will have spent so much time winding yourself up, you will get to a 10 and can't get yourself back down from a 10. Okay. So we need to be paying attention to that. We need to be aware of that as we are going about monitoring our moods as we're doing our journaling. Right before you get ready to journal, and then at the end of your journaling session, most of the time, if you started off at a 9, chances are you will come down to an 8 or a 7 or maybe even a 6. It works in that little bit of time to release the thoughts that are going on in your head that are messing with you and to calm you down. It works in that 5 minute section. Just that little 5 minutes of writing is going to start to make you feel better, and you will be able to see it quantified on the page. I started off at a 7, got down to a 5. This journaling works. This works to make me feel better. I know for sure that it does. And then your brain can't tell you that journaling is purposeless and you will never ever feel better. You know that your brain is lying then. Okay? Third thing, and these things that I'm telling you, I got 5 of them that I normally tell you. Um, all 5 of them are the practices. If you go to the Love After Cheating group, it's at the top of the page, just walking you through these 5 things that I'm teaching you to do. So, the third of the practices is to get an attitude of gratitude. Hey, Angela, I see you, girl. Glad you're here. Angela says 3 years, 4 months since D-Day, and I still use the deep breathing. Girl, I still use it every day, too. It's at home and at work. It is an effective tool all the time. Oxygen into your brain is effective no matter what the situation is. If it's going on and you are struggling and you are stressing, but you do your deep breathing, you are going to feel better. So thank you, Angela. That's what I'm trying to tell them. I need everybody to jump on doing this deep breathing so that you know for certain that it does work, okay? And the journaling works the same way. If you're doing your journaling consistently, you are going to feel better. You are going to find patterns in what you're feeling. You are going to catch things before they start. It is going to be much easier to deal with this trauma that is going on inside your body if you do these things. All right, so the third thing, I need you to develop an attitude of gratitude. I need you to go in your heart and find the things that you are most grateful for day to day. Every single morning, wake yourself up, and I want you to put pen to paper, get yourself just a page or two in the back of your journal where you just keep a running list of 5 things every morning that you feel grateful for. If you do that on a consistent basis, that changes your brain. This is brain training. It's using the neuroplasticity of your brain, the ability for your brain to change, to be able to get you out of this traumatized state, to get you out of pain faster. Okay? When you are in this traumatized state, when you are going through it, when you are having this pain from this trauma of being betrayed, your brain is going to assume that everything is bad. Its job, its automatic response is to assume that everything is bad and to try and isolate you, try and pull you away from all the bad things in the world and make it so that you're safe. Okay? I understand that our bodies do that, and that is a wonderful thing. If you are in an emergency situation, that is a great thing to have automatically happen. But we don't need that to automatically happen with our mates now, do we? If we do that with our mates, guess what happens? We get further and further and further away from them, and that's not what we intended to do. So we've got to override that automatic sensation of everything is bad. And the easiest way to do that is by being grateful for things. It will change what your brain is focusing on. If every morning you wake up and you say, absolutely, I need 5 things right this minute that I am excited are in my life, I am glad that they exist. All right. I can say I am grateful for, I'm grateful for the color purple. I'm grateful for all the colors of purple. I am grateful for the internet and for laptops and for cell phones and for phone covers, because honey, I will break a phone without a phone cover. And I am grateful for I'm grateful for gold. I'm grateful for gold. I like gold. Gold is pretty on me. I think it's a good look for me. So I'm grateful for gold today. Either way, it doesn't matter what you are grateful for. As long as you are grateful, as long as you feel that in your heart, trying to get from I am miserable and sad and traumatized and angry and in pain to I am happy and reconciled and forgiving is a huge jump. You can't just jump from that misery to that happiness. We've got to have an intermediate step, and the intermediate step is gratitude. If you can be grateful, your brain can't argue with that. Your brain can't say that this thing that you are grateful for is not something to be grateful for. You know it's something to be grateful for. If your brain starts trying to trick you, you're like, no, no, no. I'm pretty sure I am grateful for the color purple. I am pretty sure I am grateful for cell phones. I'm pretty sure about that. You can't convince me that those are bad things. And so then you are not in the misery. You are in a state of gratitude, which is in between the two. Now we can reach out for happy from a little bit closer to happy. Does that make sense? I don't want you to have to like try and reach from misery to try and get to happy and fall on your face. You don't need that. You don't need that after this trauma has happened to you. You need a safe place, a safe launching pad to get to happy and recovered and reconciled and forgiving. You need that launch pad to get there. Okay? So every morning, five times a day, do your great gratitude practice 5 times a day. If you can think of something 5 times during the day that you're grateful for, that's great. But I want you to try and do it first thing in the morning. When you first wake up, your brain is getting set up for the day. Say to your brain that that's what you want it to do, is look for things to be grateful for, write them down in your journal, and hold those things close to your heart during the day. Remember that you are grateful for those things during the day, and your brain will start to look for things to be happy about instead of the pain and the betrayal. Okay? Angela said, hi, y'all listen to Dasha. I haven't posted much lately, but I still read the post. My hubby and I did what Dasha said. We did it together, and we are good now. You can get there. You can get there. Angela's telling you, I'm telling you, plenty of other women in the Love After Cheating group will tell you, you can get there. It does not take, it doesn't even take as much as you think it would take. Because it's such a struggle, because it's so much pain and so much loss and so much distraction, the simple things that I tell you seem like they couldn't possibly work. But if you just start doing them, if you just start, just see, test me, okay? I am perfectly willing to be tested. If you test out the practices, get yourself the practices, go to the Love After Cheating group and get yourself the practice. I'm gonna put it into my Instagram bio too. But go to the group, get the practices, do the practices. Just that little bit every single day, practicing that starts to change your brain, starts to change how you are seeing the world, and then the pain gets less because we're not so hyper focused on it. We are changing and training our brain to look for the good instead of that. So try me out. All right, absolutely. I have no problem with being tested. Angela knows because I know what I'm talking about. And I know for sure that you can feel better and you can feel like you haven't made a mistake. You can feel like you did the right thing by staying and working it out. You don't have to feel like this was a bad idea. You don't have to feel like this is something scary. You can feel like this is a good idea and you will be proving it every single day to yourself and to your honey as you go forward. All right. Last thing that I'm telling you about the practices right now is I need you to stop asking all those questions. Okay. I know you want to ask the questions. I know that it hurts you not to ask the question. Let me tell you why. You're hurting, you're aching to ask those questions because it's a trauma response. It is still part of that automatic stuff that happens in your brain and in your body when you are traumatized. You are not controlling that. That is trying to control you. Your brain giving you all these questions. It's the same exact mechanism that alarms your brain when you see a spider crawling across your ceiling. It's getting closer and closer over your bed. That is, I need to know where that spider is going. Where did that spider come from? I need to know where it lives. Is it venomous? Is it going to fall down on me? Is it making a web above my head? Your brain comes up with a million questions about that spider, doesn't it? It wants to know about that spider because in our brains, spiders are considered threats. So if you are doing the same thing to your mate, where have you been? What is going on with you? What were you thinking? What did you say to this person? What did you do today? If you start doing that to your mate, you are falling into the trap of this is a threat that I need to know all the information about. And if you keep doing that, if you keep believing that in your head about your mate, they won't be your mate anymore. They will be the perpetrator. They will be the perp, and you will be the detective, and you got to sit there and question them and get a confession. And you already know what they did. You already know, you are very well aware that they cheated. You are very well aware that you don't need all those details. All of those details are just stressing you out, making you angry, making you more hurt, giving you more things to heal from when you can just go ahead and heal from where you are instead of making the wound worse and worse and worse. All right. Now, all that being said, I understand that it is a reflex. Your body and your brain want to know these answers because they're scared that you're going to be hurt. Okay, I get that. So, if you've got that itch in your brain to ask a question, try these instead. This is The And, THEAND, by the good people at the Skin Deep. You can get this from Amazon. Just type in The And on the search and it will pop right up with their store. And you can get all sorts of different ones. This one is the Healing Connection one. This is the Healing edition of the cards, but I also have the Long-Term Couples edition. So it doesn't matter which ones you get, but these the Healing edition is specifically like connection questions where you have had a little distance between you, and these are connection questions to try and get you closer together. And that's what your brain keeps telling you that the questions are about, right? I got to know these answers so that we can be close again. Okay, well, let's do it with real questions designed for that instead of questions about an affair that are just going to upset you when you get the answers. Okay. So I'll give you a few of these. You only need like 2 to 3 of these for an entire conversation. Don't get greedy, okay? You'll be wanting to have that conversation with him. You want to talk to him so bad. You deal out 5 cards. You're gonna get tired. He's gonna get tired, and then you're gonna be mad because he's gonna want to quit. And then you're like, "Well, you never want to finish anything with me." When I told you 2 to 3 cards, not 5 cards. All right, because you can have an entire conversation off of one of these cards. So the first one says, "What do you think surprises me about our connection?" An interesting question. I might ask my honey that one. What do you think surprise? What do you think surprises me most about our connection? That's a good question. Next one. Oh, this is the fill in the blank one. You can fill in your own question. Don't make it about the cheating. Okay. Don't cheat and make it be about the cheating. Okay. Try and make it be about something that is neutral so that you can actually be connecting instead of one of you feeling defensive. Okay. Second one says, what concerns you most when it comes to our relationship? Wouldn't you like to know what his concerns are? Wouldn't you like to know that more than what positions they had sex in? I think you would, okay? What concerns you most when it comes to our relationship? And one more. This one says, in what ways do you think you perceive life differently than I do? Okay, that's an interesting one. In what ways do you think you perceive life differently than I do? What are your differences? What are the things that he thinks versus the way that you think? That's an interesting question. Wouldn't you rather know that than anything else about the cheating so that you can feel closer instead of pushing further away? I think you would. All right. Trust me when I say that when you do the questions and you sit there and you ask all the questions about what happened between the two of them, that is giving you nothing to heal with. It is all your brain assuming the worst and running with it. So if you can control that, you can tell your brain that that's not what you want and ask better questions. Ask questions that will actually lead to some kind of connection between the two of you, you will be better off. All right. Stop asking all of those questions. Okay. I know everybody always says that you got to have that full disclosure, but okay, I don't believe in that because honestly, honest to God, there are things in this time period. Okay, we're saying that you're traumatized, right? If somebody is doing something traumatizing to you, that is traumatizing to them. If you are in a situation where you are doing something that you absolutely know to be wrong, you know is going to hurt your mate, you are not in your right mind. You are not fully there, fully comprehending things. So trying to ask a whole bunch of questions of somebody who is obviously just as traumatized as you are is not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere. You are not going to get all the answers. It does not happen. There were things about my husband cheating that I didn't even have a clue about until a few years ago, maybe 15 years after it happened. He explained something to me, and I was like dumbfounded because I had not made that connection yet. And he made the connection, came back and talked to me about it, let me know that that was something that was happening with him at the time, a reason why this happened. And neither one of us had even considered it before. Neither one of us had made that connection before. But we, with a little bit of distance and perspective and healing and the ability to see past the pain, you can get better answers. Right now, in pain, the answers aren't good. You're not going to be happy with them. They are not going to be satisfactory at all. You need a little distance and a little perspective and a little healing to be able to accept the answers to the questions that you're asking. Okay? So please trust me when I say, full disclosure, who? We're going to let that go for right now, okay? If you trust me and just go ahead and start to move forward with the healing, you are going to be in a better place. You're going to be in a better position, and then you will be able to fully understand the answers to your questions later on, okay? All right. So, I'm reminding you again, go to the comments, click on the link. That is the link for the Tricky Triggers Challenge. We are starting next week, the 22nd of September, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be held mostly in my Love After Cheating Challenge group. If you are in my Love After Cheating Facebook group, I'm going to do the very first day in the Facebook group, but every other day of the challenge is only going to be held in the challenge group. I want everybody to, to be reminded that I'm starting when I start, but then after that, everything is going to be in the challenge group. You need to join. You need to join the challenge group to be fully accessing all of the videos, all of the questions, all of the things that we're going to be doing, and handouts and everything. I got a trigger tracker. I got all sorts of good stuff for you. So come join me for the Tricky Triggers Challenge. All I need is your name and your email. That's it. That's all I need. And you will be in. And then you can get entered for prizes. All right. Look, I'm grateful for things. I'm grateful for all the years I had with this cup before it broke on me. I was so grateful for this big old cup forever. And now it broke. I hope I can fix it. Maybe I can super glue it back. It'll be all right. All righty, y'all. So make sure, put in the comments. If you have questions for me, put them down in the comments. Let me know. I want to teach you what you want to learn about healing today, okay? All right, on YouTube. And y'all, hey, go over to my YouTube and like and subscribe on YouTube, would you please? Cause I need some more people over there. And I've been paying too much attention to YouTube, but I'm paying more attention now. I want to go ahead and get all of y'all over there to like me over there, to subscribe. All right. Okay. Don't see any questions. But let me know if you got any. I'll keep checking periodically to see if you got any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything to talk about. Yeah, questions about triggers. If you got questions about the challenge, I am here for you. Okay. All right. So, like, why is it that the triggers feel like they keep winning? Like it, that is like the hardest thing because it's like you will be on a good path, you will be feeling good, and then all of a sudden the triggers just hit out of nowhere. All of a sudden they just smack you in the back of the head and send you reeling, and you don't even know where they came from, much less how to get past it, how to get through it. All right. A smell, a TV show, a word, a glance, boom, all of a sudden I'm triggered and I feel like crap and I am spiraling out of control. And here's the truth, those triggers aren't random. That is not a random thing that is happening to you. They are patterns, which is why you needed to be doing your journaling. You can find the patterns in this trauma, in the triggers. And just like any pattern, once you get it, once you understand what's actually happening, you can interrupt it. And you can do that for triggers for everything in your entire life once you've got the skill set and you apply it. You will be able to figure out what triggers are happening to you in your life, what to do about them, and then interrupting that pattern every time it happens. You don't have to be at the mercy of every memory in your brain. That is not necessary. Nobody is asking us for that. And that is why I created the Tricky Triggers Challenge to give you those tools, real tools to start interrupting those triggers instead of getting completely hijacked and flooded by them. You are emotional, you're at a 10, you are screaming, you are not in control of yourself because your body and your brain are responding to this trigger as in you are in danger. And so you are responding like you are in danger. We do not have to do that anymore. We can do the Tricky Triggers Challenge, learn the things that we need to learn about how to get rid of a trigger, and then actually conquer the trigger. Um, Time is not going to heal this. You just waiting for the trigger to go away isn't going to help. It is not going to get you there. It's not going to get you feeling better. And it's not going to get you feeling better sooner. I want you feeling better sooner. I know you can eventually feel better, but I want you to get to that healed, happy place sooner rather than later. If time alone could heal it, then a lot of you wouldn't be hurting like 3 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later. That's how I became a coach for women who are dealing with infidelity, was because I was actually just a couples coach before that. And I kept running into that problem. It is 3 years later, 5 years later, 7 years later, 10 years later, and we are still dealing with the interpersonal issues and the trauma response from you cheating on me and me not ever being able to regulate for that and get myself back to a good place. That's why I started to do this, because I kept having to solve that problem. It was never just, oh, regular things that were happening in the relationship. Now, if the cheating had happened and it was never overcome and the triggers were still there, then that was still causing the problem in the relationship, even though it had been years later. So your practices are what is going to change the way that your brain is wired after this trauma. The time passing doesn't rewire your brain. It's not going to calm your nervous system down. That is not what it does. Time just gives you time to focus on it and feel even worse about it. And we don't need that. We already feel bad enough, don't we? I think you felt bad enough for long enough. I think that it is time for you to feel better and start to overcome those triggers so that they're not chasing you around every day, all day. Okay? So remember doing your deep breathing. Remember when you are triggered, when you are feeling that feeling in your body of your throat clenching up or your stomach dropping or that twist, I get a twist and a drop, or feel like you're gonna throw up, or your ears ringing, or your vision narrowing down to just what's in front of you. All sorts of things can happen, and we're going to talk about that in the Tricky Trigger Challenge as well. All sorts of things can happen to your body. Doing your deep breathing after you are triggered is going to help regulate all those feelings inside your body, get you to a more stable, more regulated place, make you feel better. Okay? Do your deep breathing. Talk on it. Do your deep breathing. Doing your journal is going to get that chaos out of your head. Your brain is going a mile a minute, and there are repeating thoughts and things that are making you feel anxious. Write them down in your journal. Write them down. Show your brain that they are just thoughts. This is not even what's happening right now. I don't need to have any distress over that because I am safe in this moment. From this bad thing that I wrote down, it is just a thing in my head. It's not actually happening to me. When you do your journaling, it is a way to let those thoughts out of your head in a less destructive way. If you let them out and you just react to them, that's going to be a pretty destructive way to go about things. But if you write them down in your journal and you study them and you find out the trigger and you see the patterns within them, then these triggers are useful to you and your journaling practice is even more useful. You will get further in your healing faster. Doing your gratitude practice, that is going to focus your brain on what is good. When we are triggered, we are in grief, loss, what we don't have. That is what we're doing when we are triggered. There is some loss that we have had, some loss of safety, something is missing that we would want to have in our lives. So when you use your gratitude practice, that focuses your brain on the good things instead of on the negative things, and then your brain can see the good things again instead of just the negative things. And then it focuses that, and then your brain, when you are insisting upon something for longer than 17 seconds, that's all it takes to change your mind. 17 seconds, you are insisting on being grateful. After that, your brain will try and hand you another grateful thought. Whatever you focus on, whatever you intentionally focus that brain on for a good 17 seconds, your brain will then try and assist you by giving you the next logical thought that goes along with it. So if all you are thinking about is things that you are grateful for 17 seconds, your brain will pop up and say, oh, but what about this? I think you should be grateful for this. This is something that I know you're grateful for. Here. And what about this? It will start to give you other things to be grateful for instead of focusing on the negative. And then not asking the question. That's how you stop feeding the fire, man. This fire is raging in you. Your body and your brain are saying that you are in danger, that this is an awful thing that has happened to you, and you must be on high alert so that this thing will never happen to you again. When you are going along with your brain saying that, just accepting that as the truth, your brain will keep on going with that. It says, okay, she said that that's what we are looking for. So that's what we are looking for. More questions, more things to find out, more interrogation. That's what we need. So if you allow that to happen, that is what will happen. So we got to rein that in. Rein it on in. Tell our brain, no, no, no. You are not allowed to ask all those questions. Those are not good for us. We are going to put those down, and we are going to work on ourselves. We're going to work on us on the inside. And then once we have worked on ourselves, maybe I will let you ask a couple of questions then. But we got to work on us first. You got to put up some rules. You got to let your brain know what it's supposed to be doing, and then do that. And show your brain that you are safe when you do that. You are not getting hurt by staring at his GPS. You are not doing it. You are taking control of what you can control, feeling better within yourself, and then the relationship is going to get better like that. Okay? So during the Tricky Triggers Challenge, we go deep into those practices, but way more. Not just those. I'm not going to just tell you the same ones that I always tell you. We got lots of practices, and I give you real scripts and strategies for when the trigger shows up, when it gets to you, and you don't know what to do. I have the skill sets that you are going to need to be able to do something about the trigger when it happens to you. And then as you are practicing that skill, you can go even further and get to the place where the trigger doesn't even happen because you anticipate it, you take care of yourself, you use your plan that you have come up with during the Tricky Triggers Challenge, and you are ready for that trigger when it gets to you. So it doesn't affect you like it normally does. So you can see that it's not as big and bad as you thought it was because you were already prepared for it before it even got there. That is what I need you to learn from the Tricky Triggers Challenge. It is going to be fantastic. I want you to join me, okay? You can start healing now. You don't have to wait for him. You don't have to wait for him for those triggers to be better. Because here's the one that just makes people mad every time I say it. Your healing is yours. That's it. It is nobody else's. It is yours. It is not his. This is your healing. If you're waiting for him to change so that you can stop suffering, then the triggers have all the power. You have given away all the power that you had over feeling good yourself away to him and away to the triggers. No, no, sir, that does not work. That is why that has not worked thus far. Looking at him and saying, okay, you need to fix this for me has not worked because that's not the way healing works. Your healing has to come from inside you. I was a nurse for 25 years. The healing that you are going to do, yes, I can do some treatment. I can keep the wound clean. I can keep it bandaged and covered. But the healing factors in your body is what actually causes that wound to slowly knit itself together and close up. You can take care of it, yes, but that healing comes from inside. If you are looking for your healing outside yourself, you are looking in the wrong place and you will not find it. It is not out there, it's in here. Okay? You deserve a partner who shows up and makes amends. I'm not saying that you don't deserve that. That is absolutely something that you deserve. But in the meantime, before we get to that, because we're not going to worry about him, you are the one that needs some healing now. So before we even deal with him and getting himself together, we need to get you and yourself together. We need you to feel better from the inside out so that you can actually accept the amends that he's going to make. If you are still wounded, you're not going to accept him apologizing. You're not even going to accept his changed behavior because your body and your brain are still alarming that you are not safe. So we can't even get satisfaction out of him apologizing and saying the right things and doing the right things because our bodies are rejecting every bit of that. So we need to start with our own healing from the inside. The challenge is not about making him better. It's about reclaiming your power. You can feel better. You have control over you and your thoughts and your body. You have that. Even when the trigger is something that he did, that healing is still yours. It belongs to you, and you can bring it forth and have your life line up with a happy, healed up version of you. Okay? So, the Tricky Triggers Challenge is going to start Monday, September 22nd. It is a free 5-day journey through the triggers with me. So you're going to get daily videos. We're going to be doing journal prompts. We're going to have real world exercises for like the common triggers, the things that everybody is going through. I'm going to give you tips to get through those things. You're getting emotional support and encouragement. You're getting a chance to win prizes in the giveaway. So there are so many reasons for you to come and join me for the Tricky Triggers Challenge, but mostly it's just to start to feel better, to shed these triggers that are constantly chasing you, constantly making you feel less than, to start to shed them, to start to leave them behind. That is what we are doing in the Tricky Triggers Challenge. So if you've been triggered more than once this week, come on. All right. If you are sick and tired of the same damn fights and spirals, um, if if you're just tired of trying to do this alone, I need you to come to the Tricky Triggers Challenge. All right. Everybody with me on that? Let me know if you got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints about the Tricky Triggers Challenge. Anything at all, I got you. I'm looking. I don't see any questions at the moment. All right, so we're coming down to it. So, the last of the practices. Remember, I told you about the practices earlier, and you can get a copy of that inside the Love After Cheating group, and I'm going to put that on my Instagram as well. The practices are the things that we can start doing right this minute all by ourselves to start to mitigate the effects of this trauma on our bodies and on our brains. So the first thing is doing your deep breathing. The second thing is to do your journaling. Third thing is to develop an attitude of gratitude. Fourth thing is to stop asking all those damn questions. And the fifth thing, the last thing that I want to tell you about is to do your affirmation. Have you been doing your affirmations? Honey, if you haven't been doing your affirmations, you need to get on that. You are slacking. You are not doing your part. When you are traumatized by anything, but especially by the trauma of your mate going and having sex with, having an emotional affair with somebody else, your brain will tell you that you're just not good enough. That is the reason that this happened. He didn't love you enough, and you are a terrible person and terrible girlfriend, terrible wife. He never wanted you, he never loved you. You are the problem here. Your brain does that. The same way that it keeps on with the negative thoughts, keeps trying to make you believe negative things all the time, it will do that to you too. It will tell you that you're the problem. So we've got to not believe that. And we need to start doing our affirmations in order to combat that. If you are doing your affirmations on a day to day basis, you have record in your brain that is contrary to these negative thoughts that your brain is thinking about you. So we got to do our affirmations at least twice a day. First thing when you wake up, go in the bathroom, do your regular morning routine, look yourself in the eye in the mirror, and say your affirmation. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you have the authority to make this true about yourself. Even if you don't totally believe it, you gotta totally believe it right off the bat. If you say it like you believe it, if you say it with conviction, your brain doesn't know the difference between make believe and reality. So if you say it the way that you would say it if you really actually believed it, your brain can't hear any difference. It can't say that, oh no, she doesn't really believe that about herself. Your brain says, hey, she sounds like that was really something she meant. She sounds like that is something that is really important to her. I believe that that is the reality of this situation. She's telling me it's the reality. I'm going to believe that that's the reality. Okay? So your brain doesn't know that it's made up. Your brain doesn't know that you don't believe it. If you sound like you believe it, your brain will believe that you believe it. Okay? So we got to do our affirmation for today. So say it with me. Today I am mindful. Repeat that back. Today, I am mindful. Today, I know deep in my heart and soul that happiness and self worth are within me. Isn't that what I was telling you? Your self worth, your healing, your happiness, they are all residing inside you. If you are looking anywhere else for them, you are looking in the wrong place. You will not find them there. You've got to look inside you for everything that you want. Everything that you want is in there. Everything that you want is in there. You just have to be brave enough to go for it anyway. Even if you're scared, you got to be brave enough to go for it. All right? So the practices are: do your deep breathing, do your journaling, practice gratitude, stop asking all those questions, and do your affirmation. And more than anything, more than even those practices, don't do what the fear and the pain tell you to do. That's as simple as it gets. If you choose every time when the pain and the fear is screaming something negative for you to do in your head, like a client said to me today, I just want to go out and stay out all night and drink all night, and that'll show them. It might show them, but it's a bad idea born from the fear and born from the pain. And if you do it, it is always going to lead you into the woods even further. It is going to be darker. You are going to get deeper, and you are not going to be able to find your way out. So there is no need to listen to what the fear and the pain are telling you to do. If it is shouting in your brain that I'm going to get them and they'll see, it's a bad idea. It will lead you deeper into the woods. If you decide to do the exact opposite of what that thought is, hold tight to yourself, you will find your way out of the woods. It is the way to the light. It is the way home, not doing what the fear and the pain tell you to do. Okay? All right. I think that's about it. I don't see any questions. I'm so glad that you are here with me today, and I'm going to be excited to have you with me on Monday, starting for the Tricky Triggers Challenge. We're going to be together during the day. It's only going to take about 20 minutes or so of your time. First thing, like 11 o'clock in the morning, you are going to hear a word from me. I'm going to give you a challenge. You go fill out the challenge inside the group. Voila, you are entered for a prize. All right. So it is a very simple thing. I try and keep my challenges as simple as I possibly can, because if I make it like an hour long video, it's hard for you to go back and like watch the whole thing, especially if you're not getting to it to the end of the week. I want you to do it with me though. Try to make sure to show up on the 22nd, 11 a.m. Start off with me and work through the week, each day with me. Ask me questions about what I'm teaching you every day so that you can apply it and start all week long. So then you have some results at the end of the week. You can see that what we did actually did help you. It did get you to a different place just in that little bit of time. Okay? All righty, y'all. That's about it. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I'm going to be back again next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's still on the day of the challenge. So it'll be like 11 o'clock in the morning. I'll be doing the challenge in the challenge group. And then 9 o'clock at night, I'll be doing the live everywhere. I love you, and I'm so, so proud of you. I want you to know that you are doing a good thing. And if this is what you feel like is the right thing for you, then you are not wrong. If this is the person that you love, if this is your person and you want them in your life and you want to forgive them, there is nothing wrong with that. You are not doing anything wrong at all. You deserve that. You deserve to be able to express the love that you want to express and to receive love back from who you want to receive it from. You are not doing anything wrong. You are not crazy. You are not naive. You are not a doormat. You're not a pick me. You're none of those things. You are just a woman in love. And what's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? What's wrong with being that and enjoying that and having love fill up your heart, having forgiveness fill up your heart? What's the problem with that? I don't think there's any problem with it. Stop giving yourself a hard time about it. Stop kicking yourself about it. I love you and I am proud of you for it. Okay? All right. Mwah. I will see you again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. Bye, y'all.